Hola mis amigos, this is Spanish Blueprints. My name is Joshua, and in this video, I want to share with you how I prepare for my Italki lessons. A big reason for this is that I've been using Italki a lot this year, so it is a big part of my Spanish study routine. So I want to give you a little insight into how I study Spanish. Also to give you some ideas of how you can study Spanish, and then as well how you can prepare for your own Italki lessons. All of my Spanish Italki lessons are all conversational type lessons. So it's just when my tutor and I are having conversations about basically any type of topic. So one way that I prepare myself for these lessons is reviewing the notes that I have taken from a previous lesson. But this time around, I actually do not have that many notes that were taken from this particular lesson. My tutor and I have a lot of these lessons through Skype. So what normally happens during a lesson is that when I have trouble saying a word correctly or a phrase correctly, which happens all the time, she will type something in the Skype chat, and then I have a record of a whole bunch of words that I was mispronouncing. But yesterday that did not happen, and I don't usually take my own personal notes during the lessons, like use this notebook here and just write down what she's saying and write down what I mispronounced incorrectly and things like that. But I like to wait to after the lesson because I like to just focus on having a conversation with my tutor. Just so you know, I may say tutor and teacher interchangeably, but just know that there's actually a difference between those when you're actually using the Italki platform. Since I don't have many notes from yesterday's lesson and I don't have it recorded, one thing I'll do right now is just think about everything that my tutor and I just talked about. Hablamos sobre nuestras semanas, hablamos sobre nuestras metas con los idiomas y también qué tan difícil lo es para pronunciar palabras mejor y también imitando los acentos. Having this little review session for my Italki lessons is extremely important for future lessons because if I don't try to actually remember everything, then I'm going to forget everything as well, especially after a whole week has passed. Now, you may be asking yourself, well, what exactly are you trying to remember, Joshua? And one of the things that I try to remember from my Italki lessons is just the vocabulary that my tutor is using. And then as well, a lot of the sentences that she uses, because there are so many different ways that you can say sentences in Spanish. And then of course, I lack a lot of vocabulary within the Spanish language as well. So that's why this is a big goal of mine to remember for my Italki lessons. Funny enough, I just remembered something very important that my tutor told me yesterday. So she told me that when I am reading something in Spanish, could be an article or a book or whatever the case may be, and I see a comma, what I'm going to do is raise my voice, subir la voz, at the end or like right before that comma. So the whatever that word is before the comma, I'm going to raise my voice instead of bajándola. So instead of lowering my voice. But if there's a period when I'm reading, then what I'm going to do is actually lower my voice. I'm going to bajar la voz, so it sounds more like I'm actually ending the sentence. And this is something I actually never really thought about. So I'm happy that she explained that to me because I would have never figured that out unless she actually told me. So you already have a good example right now of why it's really good to have these review sessions, because honestly, I completely forgot about that until right now. And now I can read a little bit better in Spanish and then actually explain that to you, for example. So subir y bajar la voz. And those are the exact words that she used. So I just took a few minutes and wrote down a few words and phrases that I can remember from our lesson yesterday. So some of them are doblaje, imitación, sube, baja, coma, al fin, acento contado, and nos vemos pronto. And I'm sure there is a lot more, but right now I just can't remember all of them. So that's kind of the hard thing about when I'm not actually recording my videos and I actually don't have any notes being taken during the lesson. There's a lot that I don't remember, or I'll say specific words and phrases that I don't remember. I'm just scrolling through our Skype chat right now, and there are plenty of other notes from other lessons. So one thing that I like to do from time to time is review these notes as well. So one thing from, I think 2 lessons ago, my tutor and I, we talked about la histeria colectiva, o más o mejor, ella me estaba explicando. My tutor was explaining to me what this means. So she put histeria colectiva in the chat, and she also put the definition because I did not understand what she was explaining to me, so I just had to read it off for myself. And la histeria colectiva es un fenómeno psicológico y social que afecta a un gran grupo de personas y por el cual aparece una sensación de que existe la percepción de una amenaza inminente que suele ser invisible y que puede ser real. So that's one thing that I like to do as well. When I'm reading over the notes that my tutor has left in our chat here, I'm going to be reading them out loud so I can practice my Spanish speaking fluency and my pronunciation skills as well. And now I'm realizing that there's a lot of vocabulary that I either don't use or I just completely forgot. So that's something that I could do in the future as well to prepare for my italki lessons, is to actually write down everything that I have in the Skype chat and then make some flashcards out of them, or just write a list of these vocabulary words so I can practice using them, use them in sentences, and also in a sentence when I'm speaking out loud as well. Apart from that, when I don't have a video recorded of my italki lesson, when I do have it video recorded, the method that I actually use to study changes up a little bit. So for example, let's say I play this little clip of one of my italki lessons. Yeah, that's lo mejor. Fue un nuevo restaurante lo que fuimos, pero tenía un ambiente muy moderno y se ve bien por afuera y por adentro también, pero la comida no fue la mejor. Okay. So there's a few different things that I can actually analyze when I'm watching myself speaking Spanish during these lessons. So that is the way that I'm using vocabulary and constructing sentences, and then my pronunciation skills overall, and then also my comprehension skills of what my tutor is telling me, and if I actually comprehend properly, because if I can't, then you'll be able to notice that very easily by me just saying sí or something like that, or just nodding my head. But it's pretty clear that I don't really understand everything that she just said. And then also my accent as well when I'm speaking Spanish. Now, besides roasting the way that I speak Spanish, the other thing that I do is also analyze the way that my tutor is speaking as well. So I take a ton of notes in this notebook right here and write down as many words and phrases that I think that are very important for me to know and that I also would like to use in the future. So I write those down a lot, and then I'll review those, make sure that I know them. Then I'll try to imitate the way that she speaks, imitate her accent, all that good stuff, so it can be all solidified in my mind. A mí mismo me decían, por el agua, la carne también. Nunca tuve un problema. Aquí en México mi problema fue esos tacos que ya sabía. Nunca me enfermaba. Nunca me enfermo. No se enfermo por eso. So I'm really happy that my italki tutors allow me to record these sessions, because not every single tutor and teacher does allow their student to do this. So it's very important for me because I can actually remember what the conversation was about, take good notes like I was just talking about, and then also do a lot of imitation, which I love to do. I love to imitate different accents in the Spanish language and then just try to sound as much like a native Spanish speaker as possible. Another thing I say that really helps me to prepare for the next lesson is making sure that I have enough time to actually have these review sessions. Because there's been many times during this year where I would actually just take maybe 20 minutes or 30 minutes before the lesson to do a little bit of review, but it's just not a lot of time because I actually want to think about all the different topics that I discuss with my italki tutor, and then also be able to use a lot of the vocabulary that was used during the previous lesson for the current one. And it's quite embarrassing if my tutor asks me a question about something that we talked about previously and I don't remember at all. If you're interested in taking some Italki lessons, make sure that you use the affiliate link in the description box of this video so you can get a little discount. Let me know in the comment section below, how do you prepare for your Italki lessons? Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up and tap or click on the screen to watch more videos about my experience using the Italki platform. Y nos vemos en el próximo video.